Oceh Gibran.
Ini mungkin kita cuma sampai 2015 ya, cuma memang dikasih waktu 15 menit ya. Makasih guys.
Hello, welcome to Indonesia. Hello, welcome to Indonesia. Siap. Happy, muter Pi. Oke. Yes. Yes.
assess internally what staff are here. I've carried out an internal. I think it'll take a few more games before you can form opinions on the league. But what I'm here to do is see as many players as I can. I think that's an important part of the role of a head coach. That you're visible in stadiums. The players can see that you're here, they know you're here. And for me, it's to see as many Indonesian players as I can over the next 2 to 3 months. We have a very busy year this year. We have the FIFA Series in March, and then we have the Halangi Cup, and I think we're going to need a big squad this season. So it's important to see all of the players that are playing domestically, and yeah, it's been a good start. 2 good games. I've enjoyed the tempo. I've enjoyed the atmosphere in the stadium, and hopefully I can get just a couple more games before I leave for Europe.
What is the biggest difference between Indonesian football and other football that you are already coaching?
Again, it's probably too early to make an assessment. I always think climatically the conditions here are always going to dictate a certain level of tempo. It's always difficult, I think, in certain periods of the game to maintain the level of intensity. So, I think that's normal. But I've been impressed with the intensity. I think watching how the game finished tonight and how it finished last night, the Procedure game, the intensity was good. So that's something I look for as a coach. I'd like to bring that level of intensity to the national team and to bring a mentality of relentless, high-energy football.
You already saw that 2 games. Indonesia really love football, really passionate about football. They think make you pressure for coaching our national team because
I love that passion. I grew up in Newcastle. It's a pretty passionate city for a boy. That's it. So yeah, it's a passionate city, and you know that there's extreme highs and extreme lows. I think as a coach, you have to stay in the middle, never too high, never too low. Respect what the fans want, and they want to go to a World Cup. It's been too long, and at some point it will happen. And I think as long as they stick with us through the thick and the thin, because any qualification campaign is a journey. You have highs, you have lows, and we have to stick together. One thing that we guarantee, and I'll guarantee as a coach, is the player group will always give everything they've got for their country. And the day that they don't, that's when the fans can be upset.
From today's game, is there any player that caught your eye?
Again, I think it's too early to say. I'm looking at the players with different lenses. I'm looking at the young players, Hoki, Donny, all those players with a lens of what can they look like in the future. What will they look like if tested in a national team environment? And then looking at some of the senior players to see what they still have and what they can still offer. As I've said this year, you're going to have the FIFA Series in March, and then when you move to the Halangi Cup, the depth of our squad will be tested, and I genuinely think these players are playing for some big opportunities this year. So, I'd like to think if the national coach is in the stadium, there's a different level of focus and intensity, because I will give opportunities to players. There's no doubt. That's always been, if you've looked at my track record, I've always trusted young players, and players are good enough, they're old enough.
Stay updated. Info terkini masih banyak. Jangan lupa subscribe, like, dan share YouTube official OKZone. Dan selengkapnya ada di okezone.com.